And welcome back to another episode of Friday Night Fights. With me, as always, is Charles.
Heyo, hello.
And sitting over there to the right of Charles is Juvasek.
Hello, how are you all?
Hey, I hope everybody's doing good. We're covering Season 11, Division 4D of Rebbl. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a look. Now, this week, I think we've got some big news, Charles. Big news.
Oh, yeah. Right. I'm excited.
Yeah, I know. It's big time. All right, we'll take a quick commercial break. We'll come back, and we'll take a look at last week's results with our scorecards. And welcome back to Friday Night Fights. This is our scorecard, where we take a look at the week's results. Charles, who was our match of the week?
1-1 draw between Sweet Tea Forever and the Sterling Hornets.
All right. Let's take a look at some
The
statistics.
gatekeeper of the division keeping the Hornets tied there.
Yeah.
Right.
Sweet Teeth, the ball possession was pretty much similar. The Hornets threw 60 blocks. That's amazing that these elves are just throwing tons of blocks, and they got a death. Plenty of SPP to go around for both teams. Let me take a look quickly at the dice logs here and see if there's anything that stands out. Some failed some failed pickups. They only picked up 3 times and they failed 5 times. That looks like that could probably be a problem. And 0 regeneration for Sweet Teeth Forever. The Hawks, or the Sterling Hornets, sorry, not the Hawks. Let's see, anything that stands out here. Nothing. So they took a lot of injuries on their rolls. 54% of the time they're getting injured. Other than that, I don't see anything. Now, did either of you get a chance to see this game?
Yeah, I watched it. It was a pretty fair result.
Okay.
Both teams having control of one half. I would say that Sterling Hornets had a better chance of winning it, but the Wolves are so mobile and they can cover pretty well the spaces.
Okay.
So it was really a fair result, I would say.
All right. 1-1 draw. Let's take a look here. The first one that's on my board is Ska Poppin' Skavens 1-4 loss to the Mass Bolts. That one looks like a shellacking. Let's see here, some statistics. 18% ball possession for the Skaven, 31% for the Mass Bolts. I don't know where the rest of the percentages go. I don't know if the ball's on the ground. What's going on here? A lot of running for the Mass Bolts and not a lot of KOs on their part, but the Skaven took 5 KOs, which I assume was a deal breaker. Mass Bolts, huge day of pickup for SPPs compared to the Skaven. Dice rolls, let's take a look at this real quick here, and armor just not holding up for the Skaven at all. Injury rolls not holding up either. Other than that, I don't see anything crazy. And the Mass Bolts picking up 3 failures, 3 success. So ball must have been on the ground a lot between both teams. Now, I didn't get to see this one. Did either of you get to see it or not?
Yeah, it was like the score says, it was 0-3 at halftime. Mass Bolts having
just ball on the ground a lot and picking up an elf going away.
Yeah. Actually, Scab of Skaven forced a couple of dice, a couple of 1 dice that didn't work out. So,
one thing that worked out for them, they got a runner got the MVP, so that'll help speed their pickup. Yeah, that's nice. And a blitzer for the other team got it, so that puts him at a level.
And the Mass Bolts is starting to look hot after that 6-1 defeat.
Yeah.
They are undefeated since then.
Turning it around, not clowning around apparently. Admin game is still too close to call. Bring out your undead. 1-0 win over the Grumblegrot Gorgers. Now we'll have the coach of the Grumblegrot Gorgers on in a little bit to talk about his team. Let's take a look at some statistics here. 37% ball possession for the undead, 6% for the Gorgers. They didn't really get the ball. And 1 pass and 1 catch. Interesting. Let's take a look here at any deaths. Ooh, the Gorgers, 1 death, 3 casualties, and 6 KOs. Just getting the worst of the dice. Yeah, oh, they did. Yep, let's take a look here. Anything stands out? Armor, injuries, pickups, nothing unusual here. 50% pickup for the undead team. The Gorgers, their pickup 4 for 0, so they picked up the ball every time they tried to. Not a bad day in that regard. Their armor not holding up as well as you'd hope, but with Noblars, you can never tell what this number actually means. Alright.
I thought it would be a close matchup. Jovsek actually picked the Ogres. I almost picked them, and it turned out to be a close one, it seems.
Yeah, it was really close. We had a lot of fouls also down on the field. Every time an ogre would fall, someone will step on it.
Oh.
And it was pretty unlucky for the ogre to die because he put him into dead again.
Dead into Apo and dead?
Yeah.
Alright, well that's unfortunate. But
Yeah, that's unlucky.
I do love a good foul to death. And unfortunately for him, Noblar picks up the MVP and a skeleton on the other side.
And I hear it was the 125 skeleton, which we had on heavy hitters last week, getting the kill.
Oh no.
So another big contribution by him.
Yeah, big pick
Yeah.
for that heavy hitter segment. Nice. You nailed it. Let's see. Commanders in Grief, 1-1 tie against the Varian Sularian. Now, this one...
That was kind of a surprise.
Yeah, I think so. Commanders in Grief had a little edge in the ball possession category. Let's take a look at the casualties. And they actually had more casualties inflicted and the same amount of KOs. That's interesting. Let's take a look. Nice day of skill points.
It's tough to control the stunties with that much movement. I imagine that's what happened.
All the
you
dice
get to
look
see each
good
other?
here.
Yeah, that's correct. That's exactly what happened. In the fight between Saurus and Black Orcs and Blitzers, it was pretty equal.
So it was just the skinks running away. Hard to
Yeah.
control them. Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
That's
But a Saurus less now, also.
one dead sword.
One Saurus die, yeah.
Nice.
Block guard Saurus.
Well, I like to hear that. Doing God's work
Oh, that
there.
hurts a lot.
Yeah, it does.
Mm,
Because Lizardmen is so tough in the first season just because of all that strength and then all the Skink's ability to speed run around. But
Right,
by the
and-
second or third season, tackle starts to become a little more of a factor.
And that takes them back in development by a lot.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think losing a guy with 2 level ups already, he must have ate some MVPs to get there. I don't imagine he got that much SPP naturally.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
because they're hard to level. Well, a little bit of a setback there to get that tie, but he got a tie, so he's still not out of it. Rebel Cheese Thieves, 2-0 win against the Drakdar squad.
And look at that, the Cheese Thieves is scoring a bit less, maybe getting hurt a bit less
Boy,
by doing that.
you're right. I mean, we don't know. I didn't see this one. 68% ball possession, though, so they apparently had the ball, kept it, and maybe just played around in the backfield. Did you guys see this one, Juvie?
Right.
Yeah, it's exactly as you said. To my surprise, they didn't start by one turning,
Nice.
which I found weird.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
past history?
now- Yeah, maybe, okay, not first turn, but second surely, but they didn't.
Yeah.
I found this approach working better. They
Yes.
really had it under control all the time.
So that's one of the things Charles does well is when he gets a 1-point lead on you, he'll let you score. He doesn't want you to score, but if you score, he'll just score one more time because he doesn't want to be back on the line of scrimmage every time. So I think
Exactly.
once you learn that patience and just having that Cheese Thieves Paneer on the field, you know you can score it pretty much any time you need to. So I like this tempered approach that he took here, a 2-0 win. It's still a nice win.
And
Because
I
they already-
noticed also, I'm sorry, that he's trying to level his gutter runner,
His
which
other
he
one?
will need.
Yeah.
Not his gutter runner, I'm sorry, his
That was Blitzer.
blitzer, yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna
His
need that
Blitzer.
claw mighty blow at some point.
Yeah,
All right.
I heard
I-
some red coaches say the development on the storm verming is the most important actually because the gutter runners are so good from level 1 and the storm verming they need some levels before they get good.
Because the gutter steals so many of those touchdowns that it's hard to level.
That as well.
Yeah. Especially if they're back there in the mire punching people. We took a look at Sweet Teeth Forever 1-1 game, and the last game we have here is Bogue Bombers versus the Beer Brawl Club. Now this one is going to be interesting. A 2-1 win for the Bombers. Let's take a look at some stats. 50% ball possession for the Bombers. That's amazing. The Brawl Club throwing 54 blocks, so getting the best of the blocks. But oh, 4 casualties for the Bombers, 1 for the Brawl Club. Nice day of skill point pickup all around. And let's take a look at some dice rolls here and see if there's anything that stands out to me quickly. The Poke Bombers doing what they do, but they failed 5 catches. That's interesting. And their passing was only 50%. The Brawl Club tried to pass and failed. Dauntless is only 50%, so I don't see anything that's crazy other than just a lot of failed catches there. But he still won, so not enough failed catches. Go ahead, Jimmy.
What was crazy was the match by itself.
Okay.
I would like to thank all the coaches that they let me stream their match.
Okay, yeah, this is the game you streamed, and if anybody's watching, we'll put the link to your stream in here. They can go back and watch the match if they want to.
Yeah, of course. I would be delighted to cast any other matches.
Yeah.
It was an amazing game, really, by both coaches. Bombers had the ball in the beginning. They tried to delay it, as I found logical to do their scoring. But at around 4, 5, 10, they had to score because injuries were starting to come from the Dwarves, and they were no longer in control of the field. So they scored at turn 5. In the immediate kickoff, Dwarves were pretty unlucky, got a blitz event from the humans. So getting the 1-1 or getting the 2-0 was on equal terms. The ball stayed on the pitch in a specific position for all the turns until turn 8. No one could get the ball and leave from there. Turn 8 happens an amazing dodge with a 1-die blitz, which results in a push, a perfect scatter. Dodge is next to 2 dwarfs. A human player dodges out of the tackle zone, goes, catches the ball between the 2 dwarfs, dodges again and goes for the touchdown without re-rolling anything.
Wow.
Nice.
That's a lot.
All right. So, as I
what
say,
are the chances? But of course, you should try it because, as you can see, it happens.
yeah, when you're desperate, you do desperate things, and they work sometimes.
So, championship luck, I guess.
Yeah,
Alright,
so
if anybody
that
wants
was
to,
the 2-0. I thought the game was over then, but definitely not.
yeah. If
We
anybody
had,
wants to watch
yeah,
it, I'm gonna say
amazing
go
match.
back and watch it on Juvix stream. If you're sitting on the bus or train, it's nice to watch that while you're waiting, passing some time.
Yeah, it could be easily 2-2.
All right.
Easily.
All right. Let's take a quick break, and we'll come back with our next segment. And welcome back to Friday Night Fights. This is Juvix CompuBox Stats, where every punch counts. What we're going to do is we're going to take a look at this week's heavy hitters. Who do you have up for us this week, guys?
Oh, this week we have really 2 heavy hitters in this week's matches. One is Andrew Smackson again. He's been here before.
Yeah, he knows his way around this area. He's been getting work done.
Yeah, this week though he performed 2 KOs, 1 injury and 1 kill.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah, so he really performed really well in hitting.
And who's our offensive heavy hitter of the week?
It's Severe, the gutter runner from the Rebbl Chiefs.
Okay.
You would expect him not to hit a lot,
Right.
but really he performed. He got 1 injury, 1 KO, scored a touchdown and made 2 passes also, so he was really the team in this match.
But I think he had think he had more stats by himself than my team did all week last week. Yeesh.
Another
you
one
you
from-
can add mine too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From the Cheese Thieves, he's making a debut. It's the 3rd player they got as a heavy hitter, so they're starting to pass it around a little bit, not just Paneer carrying the team.
Yeah. That's going to be a dangerous
Yeah.
team if they can keep these gutter runners healthy. All right. Awesome. All right. We'll take a quick commercial break. We'll come back and we will look at our pound for pound leaderboard. And welcome back to Friday Night Fights. We have our Contender Series, and this is where we take a look at somebody in the division's team, critique what they're doing, get their input, see where their team is going. Now, with us this week, we have Gan the Rogue. Is that correct?
Yes, it would be.
All right, and your team is the Grumble Grok Gorgers. Or you go ahead. Why don't you pronounce it for us?
Grumble Grok Gorgers.
Now, of course, have you heard the show before? Is this your first time?
Oh, no, I've been watching you guys ever since I entered into the, well, I mean, it's the first time on here, but I've been watching you guys, since I entered into this division.
Oh, nice.
It's a very nice production, by the way.
Hey, thank you. We try.
Hey,
I
like that.
Yeah, Rebbl pays us a huge amount of money, so we try to put the best foot forward for the division. Now, what we want to do is ask you some of the important questions around the league that people are asking. I'm going to ask you, do you know what this question is?
Oh, I'm pretty sure I do.
Okay, what's the question?
That's, outfits.
No, actually, they want to know, what were you thinking with that name? Your outfits are hideous, we got that, but your name is driving me nuts. I can't pronounce it. Where's this come from?
I like alliteration, and I also like, like lore-friendly, fluffy names. So I was thinking, what's a good name for where would an ogre live in the mountains of Morn? Ah, yes, the Grumble Grok. What's a horrible monstrosity that hungers for victory in the flesh of their enemies? Gorgers. Perfect. There you go. That's how I got it.
All right, Gan. You said something alliteration. I don't think I can spell that. Let's take a look at your team here. All right. Now, go ahead and Charles, anybody you want to look at? I mean, the first one that I would look at would be the Nobbler with Strength 2. This Hercules. Wow, look at him. Do you... I was going to say, do you usually take Strength on a Nobbler, or you just go, nah, it's not worth the pain?
Technically, you're not even, like, according to most ogre coaches, you're not even supposed to take abilities on a Nobbler. You're supposed to cut them as soon as they survive past their first level. But you know what? I thought, this legend, he's too beautiful to let go. Well, I thought, why not?
You can't get to Strength 5 unless you get to Strength 2, so you do make a good point.
Exactly, and not to mention, this guy is already shown to be a killer from the start. He managed to murder a Strength 3 Bull Centaur during the Eurogamer division, so that was pretty funny.
Oh, that's just shenanigans. 1 kill inflicted. Oh my god, this guy's a terror.
Can you talk to us and teach Wolframajax about the ways of Sneaky Git? He didn't seem to like it.
I didn't appreciate Sneaky Git now.
So here's the thing: Sneaky Git completely useless on anyone but a Nobblar. I like to think of it as basically the block of a fouling. So, like, the fact that I'm going to be losing Nobblars consistently throughout the match, that's just a truth. But being able to make sure that he can at least do something with his foul without getting kicked off immediately because of the snake eyes or what have you is nice, and it gives me an opportunity to add some more punches, as it were, because Nobblars aren't going to be blocking very often. But if I can foul more sporadically, then without having to worry about gang fouls and just pray that I get a nice lucky armor break on that, that's how I see it. It's basically the only way I can get a Nobblar to do some damage outside of a nice, well-organized gang foul.
Well, and that's how you took away the Beast of Nurgle in the first turn, right?
Exactly.
Well, the exception doesn't always prove the rule. I was saying, it's like, okay, I'll take your word for it. I'm never going to play ogres, so I'll have to take your word for that.
Exactly.
Your other Nobblar.
And that's a smart decision.
Yeah, I have enough pain in good teams. I can't do bad teams with my bad coaching skills. Your other Nobblar, diving tackle. I assume that's kind of standard, just to tie people up and not let them dodge away. All right. And your ogre development so far, break tackle, then block. Is that? Do you need doubles for block? Don't you?
Right. Need doubles for block.
No, that's brutal. But plenty of guard going and some nice movement boosts here. Go ahead, Charles.
And that's why I'm impressed by the amount of block he has. It's a first season team, and he already has 3 block. I think that you must be pretty happy about that.
Oh, incredibly.
And the movement on the ogre, is that necessary, or was it? Because it seems like it's expensive for 1 extra spot.
Well, the thing is like it's actually quite useful since once he gets break tackle, he is an efficient backfield sweeper. So he's one of the only ogres that can keep up with some of the players that can slip past. So one with block and an extra movement is quite good, and it's quite good to keep around just in case an elf or a rat decides to try skirting by.
Okay. I didn't think of that because I just assumed that they always go stupid at the worst time. But
They do, but I'm in the off chance.
In the off chance. Gotcha. All right, let's take a look at your club here. Referee rest area, which is a bribe, I assume. What are you doing here? Giving everybody a bribe just because you're going to be fouling anyway?
Oh, yes, exactly.
All right, and you're sponsored by Scave and Cheese. Nice looking stadium you got there. Human referees, boo on that. But other than that, everything looking good. So you came in with the Eurogamer, is that correct?
Yes, yes, it is.
Okay, and now you had read the article, found out about the league, and then jumped in?
Yes, mind you, I participated in leagues before it, but I decided to take a break from BloodBowl. But when I saw that, I'm just like, this is a perfect opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you been having a good time so far?
Oh yes, I've been having a great time.
Awesome. Awesome. And have you had any rivalries yet? Anybody get under your skin?
Not well, the last match, bring out your undead.
Yeah.
I wouldn't consider it a rivalry, just it's a few misplays and plenty of boneheads on my thing, but he took away one of my most promising rookies, Yogurt.
Right.
Yeah.
He could have been big. The lad.
Could have been somebody. But now he's
He
just...
really could've.
Did he turn to the other side, though, or not? I didn't get to see the game.
The break tackle, you mean, the ogre?
Yep.
But did he raise the undead or not?
No, of course
Okay.
not. You can't raise anything above strength 3.
Well, shut up. I didn't know that.
Fortunately, we ogres, we used our local butcher was able to give him a proper burial by throwing him into the after game pot. There were tears and there were many compliments to the chef. Yogren makes a mean stew.
Nice.
Nice.
Nice. You're really jumping into the spirit of this game. I love it.
Of course.
Yeah, let's take a look at your statistics. 4 wins, 8 losses, 2 draws. I gotta say, that's impressive. 4 wins and 2 draws. I mean, with ogres, it's pretty tight. You gonna keep them?
Thank you.
You gonna keep them for a season, or?
Oh, yes, most definitely. I want to see where these guys are going. This is my most successful ogre team yet.
Well, this is probably one of the top ogre teams already in the division. There's not a lot of ogre players in this division. All right. Any other questions, Charles?
I don't think so.
Juvasek.
I was.
Yeah, of course I have one.
Okay.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah, of course. I need to ask. I have to. That was the first ogre dying, correct? This season?
Yes, it was.
Now, what would you have to tell for the 4 players you've killed throughout this season?
Throughout this season?
Yeah. Is it? I guess that's payback, huh?
He inflicted 4 deaths.
Oh, jeez.
4, not 1.
So.
It's a. Well, I guess if my boys had anything to say, it'd be, well, you should have run faster, and you were tasty, so it wasn't invited.
Oh, you're adding your own sound effects to our production. What are you doing? Oh, how dare you? Are you doing voices and stories? All right.
How about that turn 16 killing your own player after throwing him?
Oh yeah. It happens.
Never made much of his life, so it didn't really matter to me.
Yeah, it could have landed better if he wanted to live.
Exactly. If he wasn't willing to play with the team and make sure that we got our revenge at the end of it, and if he was just too selfish, just go and die like that, that's his problem.
Yep, he won't be coming back. Who cares? So,
exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well,
besides, as you know, it's a Noblar contracts don't actually go to the Noblars; they just go to the coach.
There you go. Even better. Now, how long have you been playing? You said.
Exactly.
How long have you been playing? You said.
I've been 13 to 14 years.
Okay, so you've been around the block. That's good. And
exactly.
All right, we're gonna see you definitely probably next season. I don't know who we're covering, but hopefully we pick you up because you are quite the entertaining little scamp. All right.
Oh, well, thank you, boss.
You're welcome. All right, everybody, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll come right back with our main event. Welcome back to Friday Night Fights. This is our pound for pound series where we take a look at our leaderboard, see who's on top, who's on bottom, who's making moves. You know who's making moves this week? The Bogue Bombers. Were they on top last time? They're definitely on top this week. 14 points and a touchdown differential of 1 against Ray and the Mads Kemry team. Interesting. So, and actually,
such a close division so far.
The top 3 are all still in it now. I gotta be honest. I'm surprised the High Elves are not leading this with. I mean, they've only got a touchdown difference of 1. If you're gonna play High Elves, you need to score like 2 or 3 points a game, don't you? That's,
well,
or is it just against me they score
players.
2 or 3? Yeah. What's
It's
that?
pretty valuable players. If you go around scoring a lot, you're gonna lose some nice pieces.
Yeah.
So I think he should stay scoring just as much as he needs. But you should think about he took a 6-1 loss and he still has a positive today difference.
That's right. That was an amazing game. Okay. Yeah, that one
So
set
he's
him
actually
back.
scoring a lot.
So if he'd have just lost that one by 1, he might be on top right now, or at least tied. For
Right.
top. Okay.
Exactly.
Well, that's a losing 6, getting scored on 6 times is rough.
Yeah.
I've never seen it happen, but I'm glad it happened to you, not me. Now, my team, the Commanders in Grief, the best-looking team in the division, sitting here in 4th place. Tied for 4th place though, with 3 other teams. So I guess
And
all the
the only-
teams can make a move now still.
Yeah, the only difference between them and the top ones is they have a 1 draw instead of a win.
Yeah.
And they are undefeated as well, so 3 undefeated teams so far, which is pretty remarkable.
Yeah, that's amazing. So anybody in the top 6, I assume, is still looking at trying to make the playoff spot, or I can't remember if we have a secondary, tertiary spot or anything.
We have a secondary spot guaranteed,
Okay.
and maybe a 3rd spot that goes into
Depending on
season
how well we do it.
competitions,
Yeah.
right? I
Yeah.
would say up to the 5th place we have people fighting. I don't know about the people with 9 points if they can still make it, but it's free to try, right?
As I say, if I was in the top 7 in this division, I'd still be trying. I
Yes.
think 8 through 14, maybe start looking at development at this point in the season, because I mean the season's halfway over now. We're hitting the halfway mark here in a second.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah, of course it's your decision. I've seen people come back from worse, and I've also seen people at the top flame out. So it could go either way.
And getting some wins could also lend you a better division if you care about that. So
Well, you're not helping
Maybe
the
it's-
case here. Maybe just don't win by that many and get an easier division. I hear what you're saying, Charles. I hear what you're saying. You're saying you're tanking it for your division.
if you have some pride, you could
Charles-
want to have some ladders ahead instead of
I don't know how to spell that word. Wait, what did you just say? All right, shut up,
Maybe-
Charles. Not all of us can make it up to Division 2. You're so fancy with your stupid
Oh,
elves.
trust me, it doesn't feel good right now.
Feels good from my end seeing you get wrecked. All right.
Yeah,
We'll take a quick commercial break, and we'll stop making fun of Charles's misery up there, and we'll come back with our next segment. Welcome back to Friday Night Fights. This is our main event where we take a look at the next week's matchups, the undercards, see who's going to be taking the lead, possibly. Charles, who do you have up for the most interesting match of the week for our main event?
Wow, I would say it's not even just the most interesting match of the week. I would say it's the most interesting match of the season so
Whoa,
far.
those are
It's
bold words.
The Bring Out Your Undead versus Bogue Bombers, the 2 top teams right now.
Ah, yes. 4-2-0 record for the Undead. 4-2-0 for the Bogue Bombers. Now, this is Human versus Kemry. This is an interesting matchup, isn't it?
Right. Yeah. The
I
2
mean,
undefeated teams, 2 on the top of the division.
Now, let's take a look at this team real quick. Let me see if I can pull this up here. Oh, wrong one. Of course, I hit the wrong button here. Shut up, Charles. It's hard to do everything on this show. Why am I not seeing it? Am I looking at the wrong division? Yeah, I'm looking at the wrong division. Okay, so we're going to
Oh.
weeks. It's okay. We're going to week 7. Now we're going to be looking at the here. Bogue Bombers, bring out your undead. It's a very professionally run show here. 100 points of difference in TV. It looks like. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, that is because Bring Out Your Undead's gonna be missing Tomb Guardian.
Oh
And I think
goodness.
that's one of the big keys for the match.
Did Tomb Guardian die?
He
He's got-
took a Nigo and it's MNG because of that.
Oh, okay.
That's what I
it's not
think
showing up
happened.
red here, so that's kind of confused me. It said groin strain.
I think Rebbl
Is not updated, right?
doesn't deal well with decay because you roll 2 injuries.
Okay.
Maybe Rebbl.net doesn't know how to deal with that.
Okay.
That's
well,
what I believe.
The rest of his team looks okay. Bogue Bombers look like they're just missing a lineman. This is gonna be an interesting matchup. Who do you like in this one, Charles?
It's a close one. I'm picking the humans. I was on the fence about it, so I talked to Random Ed, the coach, to see if I could get any kind of inside information. And the fact that that Tomb Guardian is gonna be missing is why I'm picking the humans. It's the only differential I could find. But I would note that if ever there is a time to use your bank to get inducements, it's right now, and the Camry have a lot of money stored.
Oh, like Scum a Wizard or something? I mean,
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the time to do it.
This
If you're
is-
looking for playoffs, this is the big one.
Yeah. I think for this one, I am gonna take. Oh boy. I'm gonna have to go with the Bogue Bombers as well. Only because you reached out and talked to a coach. You're getting inside information. I think you're cheating. So you know something I don't know. So I'm gonna take the Bogue Bombers in this one as well. What did Juvasek pick?
He agrees.
No.
Yeah, everyone goes for Bogue Bombers, so Random Ed has to prove us wrong one more time, and I know he loves to do it, so
Yeah.
he's gonna be extra motivated.
Yeah. Prove Charles wrong, Ben Ram. Good luck with that. Let's take a look. So who do we have up next? Oh, who do you have up
Rebbl
next?
Cheese Thieves
Versus-
versus Scap Skaven, this Skaven Bowl.
Okay, so let's take a look here at the Cheese Thieves. They look like they're coming in as healthy as they can be. I mean, they're missing half a team here.
Yeah.
Next match TV is at 12:30. Is that right? Yeah. Let me see.
Both of them
12:30 to
have
12.
been
That's
taking
amazing.
some damage.
They both got the exact same team value. That's amazing.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's unusual. Now they seem to have a little more players here on the Scop Hop and Skavens. I think in this match, just because Scop Hop still has that Rat Ogre, I'm going to take the other team. I'll take Rebbl Cheese Thieves in this one. I think he's playing a more patient game, and every time to do it is in this game here. Wait for that Rat Ogre to do something stupid and then score. So, who do you like in this one?
I gotta go also with the Rebbl Cheese Thieves. They have looked more consistent, even though the record is not very consistent, but the Skapov Skavens are still looking for their first victory, so I gotta go with the team who's winning right now.
That makes sense. Juvasek pick?
Yeah, he agrees.
He, of course,
Everyone's
agrees.
speaking together.
All right,
Yeah.
Commanders in Grief versus Sweet Teeth Forever. Let's take a look here. 1430 versus 1310. Let's take
And
a look
that
at the...
Necro team is getting some surprising results, at least for me. They
yeah.
are surprising, but
Commanders in Grief
it's
come in
looking good.
healthy. So do Sweet Teeth Forever. Boy, this one's interesting. How many wins do Sweet Teeth have now?
Sweet Thief have 2
Two.
wins.
All right, and I think the Commanders are still at 3.
True. Yeah,
Boy,
and
this
the
one's
Commanders are
interesting.
undefeated.
I am going to stick with the best looking uniforms in all the division. I'm going to go with Commanders in Grief in this one. I think they've got the strength advantage. I don't think Claw on a werewolf is that much of a game changer at this point. Plus he's, well, oh boy, this one's going to be hard. Does he have tackle anywhere here? He's only got 1-2 tackle pieces.
Yeah,
I'm gonna stick with it.
controlling those. Yeah,
I'm going to stick with it. Who do you got in this one?
it seems we all agree again.
Oh,
this
no.
is getting
This is horrible.
problematic.
Yeah.
But you know, this Necro team, they have been making it close against everyone. They just haven't been dominated. dominating, so that's why I'm gonna go with the Commanders in Grief to pass this test.
Alright.
But I might have to stop underrating the Necro team soon. Let's see what happens.
Alright. Juvasek goes the same way you said?
Right.
Alright. Let's take the admin game. Should be a close one. Let's take a look at the Mass Bolts. Sterling Hawks. Now this is going to be a high flying one, or
Yeah.
I mean these are both teams that can pass a lot. Only 20 points
And
difference
both
in
teams
TV.
that are
Let's take a look.
both
there.
teams that are getting to the top of the division as well. They're
Yeah.
like 5th and third.
All right, now to me, just kind of glancing at this, it looks like the Sterling Hornets are much better developed. But I mean, I could be wrong. It just looks like more of the linemen have skills here versus the Hornets, where they have like their catcher. They have a really good catcher. But I mean, wrestle, dodge, eesh. This game could go either way.
I think the strength up is not really useful in elf games.
Oh, I disagree, isn't it? Because that gives you a matchup that you're always going to win one-on-one. I mean, you're going to get two
but
dice, and he has
how
block.
often do you get those matchups in that kind of game? And
Yeah, that's true.
it's very expensive.
Very true. I'm going to go with the Mass Bolts for this one. I think they have the better armor, and I think if things go to war, it's going to come down to who has the better armor. Now, of course, they're probably both just going to disengage, in which case you're hoping that your opponent trips and you don't. Who do you like in this one?
I'm sticking with the Hornets, my playoff pick for the preseason. I
Okay.
believe the Bolts are currently ahead, but the strength of opposition from the Hornets, they had a tougher schedule so far, so I'm picking them, but I want to watch this one and see how it goes, because that might make me reevaluate who my favorite elf is.
Yeah. Just based on outfits, you got to go with the Mass Bolts. Who's Juvasek picking?
Juvsek's picking the Hornets.
Oh, I finally came back with something different.
Yes.
Dazed and Confused versus the Drakdar squad now. Both teams coming in at, 80 points difference in TV. Dazed and Confused. Let's take a look here. They look healthy. And the Drakdar squad comes in missing a blitzer. This is going to be an interesting one. I think there's no claw and only a couple mighty blow pieces on the Nurgle. Let's see about the Drakdar squad. Strength up. Guard. Not a lot of mighty blow. Alright, for this one, I'm going to go with Dazed and Confused. I like Nurgle's chances to catch them early on. Who do you like?
The Nurgle suffered their first loss and then they had to sit out for the week. So what I'm looking at is how that affects them mentally, because it's the first loss in your season and then you have to let it stew a little bit for a whole week. For now, I'm picking them over the Orcs.
Okay.
But I think it's a very close one.
Who's Juvie got?
Jove got the Orcs.
Alright.
So it shows how close it is. We're finally
Yeah.
disagreeing.
Alright. And our last matchup of the week, Grumble Grot Gorgers, Bulgarian Solarian. The Ogres come in with a higher TV of about 60 points difference here. So Bulgarian can either scum something or they can just take a babe for this one. And they're down an Ogre, so they have not been able to replace, but everybody else is healthy. Bulgarian comes in completely healthy. Ooh, this is going to be an interesting one. Every time I pick against the Ogres, they seem to win. But I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to go with Lizardmen. I think they're just too much for the Ogres to handle. And Skinks will finally get a strength advantage on the piece, so that'll be interesting for them.
Yeah, there's no tackle on the Ogre team, so they will have to mark Skinks with the Nobblers that have diving tackle to try and control scoring threats.
True.
And I believe the Skinks are just gonna run around freely with their movement.
What I would
against
like,
the slow
I was
team.
gonna say, what I would like to see here from the Gorgers is that even if you're gonna lose, just start killing Sauruses and do justice for the entire division, because nobody wants to see 6 Sauruses on the pitch at any one time. So
If he ever puts some skink on the ground, you know there's gonna be a boat waiting for them
Oh,
as
that's gonna
well,
be
because that sneaky git versus the lack of armor from a skink, it's gonna pay some dividends,
Well,
I guess.
I was gonna say, just because I called that a stupid skill choice, now every time he uses it, he's gonna get a death. So use that player to kill the
Just to prove
Proxagor.
you're
Yeah, just
wrong.
to show me that I was wrong. All right, what we'll do is we'll take a quick break. We'll come back with the final segments of the show. Charles, I haven't heard any news around the league. Have you heard anything interesting going on?
Oh, we have the announcement and non-announcement of Blood Bowl 3.
Wait, what? I didn't hear anything about that.
You're lying.
I know, I'm totally lying. The whole league was a buzz. So in case anybody missed it, there was a press release from the company that makes Blood Bowl now, and that they're going to release a Blood Bowl 3 game to coincide with a
Amazing.
tabletop version for 2020, which I think that
And to
got...
me,
What's that?
yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say that got more attention from people because they're like, why would you do a new Blood Bowl version? And then the press release, it said like a radically different, all new version. So people are like, oh my god, what does this mean? This could be bad.
Oh, change
Yeah.
is good.
No.
Let's see how they do it.
Charles, Blood Bowl.
Give them a chance.
No, I don't want to play Elf Bowl. It's ridiculous. I don't want to go
It's
to.
not Elf Bowl. Don't
It
be
is.
crazy.
Every Elf team goes up. Every Bash team goes down under the new rules. It's ridiculous. No,
Good.
yeah. I want to sit around
let's-
here and hopefully I don't roll a 1. Hey, I didn't. I win. Shut up. There's no
You know
strategy
what
in
they
that.
can do? They can just buff stuff. It's
Buff stuff.
we
So in
we
case,
have been playing a lot of years with the same combination of skills being used on basically every team that can do it. So nerfing it and maybe giving something back is gonna make the game healthier.
So
There's a lot of
so people who don't know, under the new Blood Bowl rules, they took piling on out of the game unless you use a
Right.
team reroll. And then it nerfed it basically, so you can't pile on.
It's not a good nerf. What
Right.
I would do, there's several ways of doing it. I think adding some risk to it would be the way to go, just so people don't do it indiscriminately, which is the problem. The people pile on level 1 linemen, and that's the good play to do it. I think there should be some risk there, so people actually just pile on.
Charles, there is risk
important
there.
targets.
I don't know what you're talking about. There is risk there. When you're on the floor, you're gonna get stomped on. When you stand up, you're not gonna get as much movement. And the
No,
second thing is,
no,
if
because-
you don't want to get piled on, Charles, you know what you do? You take fend and done. There you go.
First of all, it costs more to have a fend line of scrimmage, because if you have to line up 3 guys, you will need fend on 3 guys to defend against a single pile-on. And actually, you're gonna need more to protect against the blitz.
Well, I got
because if the guy
some
has
interesting news for you, Charles. Instead of hitting the start recording button, I hit the start streaming button, and we've been streaming this whole time. So don't say anything inappropriate. I'll pull the video down, and we'll come back and we'll watch that video. Thank you for Brian for pointing out that I've been streaming this whole. Oh my God, Brian! Charles was saying such bad things about you. And
Oh my
Yeah, you're
God.
busted now, Charles. I tricked you. I tricked you.
What the hell?
I know, hit the wrong button. It happens. I'll pull that video down and then grab it for the show. It's all good. All right.
Can you do it?
Yeah, I
It's-
can pull that through and then just delete the video. All right. Anything else? Occasionally these mistakes happen. It's like a local broadcast company. I'm not gonna take the blame for this one. I'm gonna blame Charles for this one if I can somehow, even though I control all the recordings. All
You're
right.
so excited about the new rules
I
that
was so excited. I was like, "Oh, we're gonna talk about." Finally, we have some news for Blood Bowl, but now all that news has been leaked. We even leaked our own leak here. Oh my God, this is a
Oh,
disaster.
boy.
Charles, we can't recover from this. All right. Anything else you want to talk about? How'd your game
well,
go?
I think it's a sign from Nuffle that just when I was thinking about quitting Blood Bowl,
Yeah.
he gives me the announcement of Blood Bowl 3,
Yeah.
and I think it's gonna be my game.
Oh, jeez. It's gonna be somebody's game. Elf Ball.
It's
all
a
the way.
sign. It's a sign. Nuffle wants me.
All right. We'll wrap up the show. Otherwise, everybody, good luck with your games and take care. If you see this as a preview, just ignore it. Wait for the real show on Friday. All right. See you guys.
Yeah. See ya.